This might be the most futuristic city on the planet, but honestly, it doesn't even make sense because 40 years ago, none of this existed. This was just a small fishing village, and now it's home to over 17 million people. So how do you go from that to one of the safest, most advanced cities in the world this fast?
We came here to see if it's actually real. A place where taxis drive themselves, where millions of people move around on fully electric transport systems, and where food is delivered via drones. And somehow, despite all of that, it's cleaner, greener, and more organized than most cities twice its age. This is Shenzhen.
西方还在讨论未来城市应该长什么样，中国却已经把答案建出来了。而且最尴尬的是，这座城市40年前还只是一个小渔村。这对外国博主原本带着怀疑来到深圳，结果刚落地就被现实打脸。1700多万人在这里生活，城市却比许多西方都市更安静、更干净、更有秩序。他们以为无人机送外卖只是中国用来宣传的科技表演，可当一架架无人机排队降落，普通家庭在公园里等着取午餐时，他们彻底说不出话了。真正让他们震惊的不是中国也有高科技，而是西方还在实验、争论甚至抵制的东西，在深圳早已成为普通人每天都在使用的生活工具。街上的卡车、出租车和电动车几乎全部电动化，车流密集却安静的不可思议。这种反差甚至让他们的大脑一时无法理解。更打脸的是，他们一直听说中国城市空气污染严重，可深圳车内显示的 PM2.5 只有10，而他们查看的悉尼却在60左右。当西方还有人反对电动车时，深圳已经用安静的街道和真实的空气质量告诉他们，争论没有意义，结果就在眼前。进入商场之后，他们又被中国汽车彻底镇住，豪华内饰、按摩座椅、超大屏幕、快速充电，甚至一家手机公司转身就能造出智能汽车。但深圳最厉害的地方还不是科技有多炫，而是未来感与烟火气同时存在。无人机在天上飞，街边小摊依然便宜、干净又热闹。世界级酒店每晚约100美元，每顿外食不超过23美元。安全、效率、科技和生活性价比竟然同时出现，难怪他们最后承认，西方真的有太多需要向中国学习。接下来，让我们跟随外国博主的镜头，看看这座被西方严重低估的中国城市，究竟是如何一步步击碎他们过去对中国的全部想象。
We have found the drone delivery of food. So this is a service here in Shenzhen where you can order a meal to the park here. You can see this park is packed, like there's all these families here and they've come out with tents. It's kind of the equivalent of our beach day. You know, they've got a little shade, they're doing picnics, they've got a whole family day out. It is absolutely packed and they're ordering lunch to the park, and the way that it's getting delivered is by drone. I genuinely thought this might be like a bit of a gimmick and it's just like one of those things that they're testing out, like a new technology, and it doesn't really work. But this is how many people are lining up right now to order their lunch. Here comes the next one. So this drone has a parcel in it and now it is landing on top of this kiosk here in the middle of the park. And then what happens is the drone drops the box and then your lunch will come out like in a vending machine. And it's so busy that while this one is about to leave, the next one is already there waiting.
And then you take the food out, and once you're finished, you then recycle it into that box, and it gets used again tomorrow.
That is so cool. I can't believe that. I also love the vibe of this park. As far as I look, there are families everywhere having the best little day out, and there's like playgrounds, there's little kiosks everywhere for drinks, everyone's brought little tents for shade, and it's just families having a nice day. So I'm not sure if you can see this, but the bollards on the side of the street are actually little charging stations. And while you're waiting there charging your phone, there is a TV screen on each of them playing local television.
Just while you're waiting for your cab.
They're like all along this little station. So if it gets busy here and you're waiting, look, everyone's just charging their phone. And then you can sit there and like watch a little telly while you charge. Shenzhen is basically like the Silicon Valley of China. So all of the big tech companies like Huawei, Neo, Xiaomi. I'm like looking to Kane for help. DJI. But you can go in and just like check out all the latest tech and the latest cars and have a look at what they have here.
This is the Neo EP9. It does 0 to 200 in 7.1 seconds. That's 200, not 100. 0 to 200 kilometers an hour in 7.1 seconds. It does 313 kilometers an hour at max speed. And it's got one of those removable steering wheels, just like an F1 car. So when you want to get in and out, you have to unclip the steering wheel to get in and get out. I don't have enough on my Amex card to touch this car, but that is one of the most beautiful electric hypercars I've ever seen.
If you had to get one of these, which would you get?
I like this little red guy behind you.
The red one looks like, I don't know why, but it's giving Monsters Inc.
Yeah, I think he's the one that carries your shopping.
Yeah.
This one looks like it's strong enough to, I can ride it.
Yeah, I actually think, see those tracks on there? I think there's like a seat that you can put on there
I think there
and
is.
actually ride this. Instead of local porters carrying all your stuff,
Yep.
they're now using these to scale the mountains.
These are the new Sherpas.
And this guy, obviously, actually maybe one of each for protection, and you just walk through Dubai Mall, and they're just like walking with you.
These guys have been showing a lot of stuff off on the internet. They've got a whole variety of modular robots coming out right now. This is Li Auto. This is another big manufacturer here. They make a whole variety of cars, from SUVs to people movers like this for the family, but they're all so nice inside. Like, look at the screens. These cars are incredible. And the front of this thing, so futuristic.
Look at this interior. This is so... I'm getting massaged.
Really?
I'm getting massaged right now.
So the one thing I've noticed about all these cars is the build quality is really good. They're definitely going for the luxury market with most of these models, that's for sure.
USB-C chargers. Are you getting massaged?
Yep, massage started. That's amazing.
Isn't that cool?
Wow. Normally the screen is behind the wheel, which you can't really see if you're turning the steering wheel, your hands are in the way. This way, with the design just there, I think that's pretty cool because you're always going to be able to see it. You've got your standard home screen. Most cars would have the screen just here, so if you need the map, you can zoom in and out. You've got your car info here, which, like if I open the door, for example, the graphic opens. It's pretty cool. But what's quite cool on this car is you've got a secondary screen. So the passenger has this whole screen here. So it's a bit like, I assume this is like YouTube. You can choose your music, other stuff like that. So if I go over here to YouTube, I can start watching content straight away as the passenger. The USB-C charges at well over 60 watts, which if you know normal car chargers, that's insane. This will charge your laptop, it is that powerful. Oh, there we go.
Oh, I'm going back. Oh. It just made this dark and now you're laying down.
But look, it's putting your chair at the front completely forward. There we go.
No way.
So that's your footrest. And now you too can take a break.
This is amazing.
With rain sound.
Oh, wow. Should we just have a little pause in here? Just in the middle of the shopping centre. So I've just realised on the wheel here it says Avatar X Kim Jones, who is a designer. Now he has designed for Louis Vuitton, Fendi and Dior, and he has designed this car. So for my fashion girlies, this is like the Dior of cars.
So there is no mirror. That's the camera on the side of the door. There's Pia, and you can see the image actually appears there. So now when you're driving, you're not so distracted. You don't have to look left and right too much. You can actually just kind of glance down here and see what is to your left, which is pretty cool. You've got this square-ish steering wheel with a full display all the way along. This is an LED. There is a display there for that mirror, a display here for that mirror, and obviously the main display, which is probably going to have the map and stuff like that. I can't really navigate this because I don't speak Chinese, but you get the idea. Wait, how do I get out of this car? Oh, no way.
It's like a puzzle.
I was going to show you around, but these kids are in there watching TikTok. So we'll come back to this one another time. Now, Xiaomi also make the YU7, which is this one, which does have a little bit of Ferrari and Aston Martin inspiration at the back. Another super fast car. Come check this one out. It's very interesting when you think that this is a mobile phone company. Up until just like a year or two ago, this shop was phones and laptops, and now it's phones, laptops, and cars. That's kind of insane. You've all seen this phone, I'd imagine. It's a foldable phone. A few brands make them now. Pretty cool, pretty thin, but have you seen this one?
This is what it looks like when it's folded. It is that thin, and then check it out. Unfold once, and you've got a foldable phone, but no, unfold another time, and you've basically got like a full-on tablet.
Okay, I'm being very quiet because I want you guys to listen. Here is a truck. That is not petrol, as you can hear. And then we've got all of these trucks, like these are working trucks, and then we've got taxis, and then we've got bikes, and they're all silent because they're all electric. It's kind of funny that they're allowed to drive on the sidewalk and also don't need to really wear helmets.
It's pure silence. The only time you can hear the traffic is when someone beeps. So what's interesting is I always had this perception that China and the big cities in China were like really polluted and had terrible air quality. But we were in the taxi yesterday and it had an air quality meter on it, and the PM 2.5 is 10, which is like outstanding air quality, like some of the best that we've been in the world.
Well, to put it in perspective, Sydney at the moment I checked was about 60, and some other places we've lived in the last 12 months have been up at 160.
Yeah, exactly.
So
breathe in the fresh air, baby. And I find that really interesting because Shenzhen is like a bit of a case study for modern innovation and stuff. Like this used to be a little fishing village about 40 years ago, and now it's turned into this like bustling metropolis that's a full-on cyberpunk city. There's high-rises everywhere. It went from 30,000 people in population to 17 million people. So it's a super successful like test case of a city, and I find that there's so many people in the West that are still opposed to electronic vehicles. The proof is in the pudding. If the air quality here is as excellent as it can be, it shows you that if everyone adopted electronic vehicles, we would be living not only in silence, other than these beeps right now, not only would we be living with like calm city streets and quiet cars, but also brilliant air quality.
we're just waiting for our Didi right now, and I want to show you this. On the app, it tells you that our driver is at the traffic lights, and the traffic lights will go green in 3, 2, 1, boom. And now he's going to start moving.
Okay, so we're at the street food vendor here, and I want to know what's inside these dumplings, but as you can see, it is all in full-on Chinese.
So I've been using Google Lens, and basically I take a photo of the whole menu, and it automatically knows that it's simplified Chinese, and it translates it. So I can now see that for 20 yuan, I can get pork dumplings. Everything you do here is with Alipay, so you don't ever need cash. So once you've synced your credit card to the Alipay app, you get basically a QR code that looks like that. And then you just show that to the person, they scan that with their phone, and then the payment goes through. It's pretty amazing. Whoops.
For this piece of fruit here, it was 80 cents each for $1.60. We've had a nice little fruity breakfast.
It's good.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
I love it here. This city is quite interesting because certain parts of it are super, super futuristic, but then you walk down another street and you're literally like in a street food market like this, where you've just got independent vendors everywhere. And I love that contrast in a city where it's not just all futuristic or all like this. Like you can kind of get the best of both worlds. It also, with such a big population, remains to be one of the safest cities on earth. We're comfortably walking around here with our cameras out, our iPhones out. Everyone is walking around with DSLRs. Like, I don't know what it is about China, but they're so artistic in terms of, like, there's photographers everywhere and they're all walking around with massive expensive cameras, and nobody is concerned about, like, strapping that to their body in any which way because they think they're going to get, you know, mugged.
We were out and every angle you looked, there was like a wife doing this. Every camera was like a bit better than the one I've got. I'm like, oh dear.
They're putting us to shame.
I need to upgrade. So one thing I've noticed here is almost no one speaks English. I haven't been to other parts of China yet. We just came straight in from Hong Kong, straight to Shenzhen. And it's been kind of interesting because we've had to use Google Translate almost entirely. Some people know how to say bye-bye and that's it. I don't know how Shanghai or Beijing is. I'm assuming it's a bit more touristy and they speak multiple languages. But here, if you come to Shenzhen, you're definitely going to need Google Translate and Alipay. They're the two apps. Oh, and Didi. They're the three apps you're going to need.
We've been here for a couple of days now, and I think I've spotted maybe 3 other foreigners from, like, Western places. So we definitely actually feel like we're tourists this time, like we're traveling in a fully different culture in a fully different country. I do actually like that because so often now that we travel, it just kind of feels like all the malls are the same and everyone kind of speaks English and blah, blah, blah. And it kind of doesn't feel like like the cultures are too different anymore, whereas this is really interesting from a travel perspective.
So if you come here, you're going to need to get a couple of apps before you even arrive. Firstly, you're going to need Didi, which is their version of Uber. Very handy and very cheap. Definitely better than booking private drivers through, for example, Trip.com, which is very expensive. They both work, but Didi is much cheaper. And then you're going to need to get Alipay. And before you arrive, I would suggest trying to connect your credit card, because by doing that, you're then able to make all of your payments, not just in shops, but also if you come to a street market. Like, I haven't seen one single person here accept cash. And then the other thing is you're going to need to get Google Translate and make sure before you touch down you download the entire language model. I think it's like 85 megabytes. It's no dramas, but it just makes it a lot quicker. And if you don't have signal, then you can still do a translation. Basically, you just type in what you want to say. It automatically translates to Chinese, and you can just kind of show the phone to whoever you're trying to talk to. And typically everyone here actually has Translate on their phone as well, so then you know, the process of them getting their phone out and typing it in Chinese, and then that translates to English.
They'll go get their phone and do the translate right back, so you can fully have a conversation with one another, just like showing each other the phone screen.
It's a really fun back and forth.
Yeah. Also, don't be afraid to try the street food here, because the hygiene standards are super high here. Everyone is super hygienic, everything is pristinely clean, even all the street food. So yeah, don't be afraid of it. It is going to be delicious.
So just like in other parts of the world, you can't get onto Chinese social media. Here you can't get onto Western social media, but for some reason, if you have an eSIM, it just works. So if you do want to get on Instagram or anything like that whilst you're traveling, we've had no trouble. We're using our Dubai SIM and we just turn the phone on and it works. So there's been absolutely no issue with that at all, which I thought there would be, but it's been fine.
We have just come to the coolest area in Shenzhen. This is called Upper Hills.
So I would say if you are from London, this is a bit like Shoreditch. If you're from Australia, this is a bit more like Surrey Hills. In New York, potentially the Meatpacking District. It's a bit too kind of prim and proper for Meatpacking District, but you get the idea. I think it's like a new gentrified area. Lots of very cool cafes. Very cool fashion, like this is A Few Good Kids. They've done a collab with Moomins. Army Logic, for example, they make excellent jackets. You would never get that in a regular Westfield.
Okay, and I've had my eye on this coffee that I want to try. I think it's cherry with coffee. I saw it on TikTok, and it's at this cafe here called Sanchi. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but I have just found it, and it looks extremely cool. Coffee break?
Absolutely. Now, I know that this place has that coffee you want. but they also have the cake that I want. You know?
All right, coffee and cake it is. Again, before we got here, we used ChatGPT to tell us like the most common few phrases so that you can get around. We do this whenever we travel. If we don't know the language, we kind of just try to learn like hello, thank you, how are you, goodbye, those kind of things, just like common sayings. Because as I say, a smile and like trying really goes a long way. Like people do appreciate it so much if you just can throw in a few words in their native tongue.
So we got out of the cab a few minutes ago and I've just noticed a notification on my phone that says unpaid. And I don't know why this is, but it seems to be happening quite a lot to me. I'm not paying my bill for my cab until after I get out. I guess it's some sort of like honour system. I'm not sure, so I just hit pay and now I pay after I've left the cab, which I don't think that would happen normally in the Western world, but here it's fine just to pay for the cab once you've got out and I've left, and that was like 10 minutes ago, I just remembered now. Oh!
So this is a ruby cherry coffee, and I believe that there's like still espresso in there, but it's like a fruity cherry kind of flavor. That, oh my god, that's so good. That might be the best coffee I've ever had.
Thea went for the chocolate, I went for the Earl Grey cheesecake.
What's
That's
the Earl Grey
amazing.
like? You good?
Right, that is so good. Rating out of 10?
That's 10 out of 10. I'll take it for very, very fair. I've convinced Kane this is worth a visit real quick. Oh my god, look at that. Can you translate this, please?
Yeah, this says, shame, not available for export, sorry.
Hold on. This whole vlog might change. Whoa, okay, I actually need to get my...
No, nothing.
Translate
No. This holiday just got a lot more expensive. Just living in China has been wow.
I could honestly spend all day in here. This is the coolest selection of products. I'm going to leave the location of this shop for you guys in the description because it is super cool, but we are trying to find futuristic stuff, not antique stuff, so we got to keep moving.
I'm going to start a GoFundMe for the damage that Pia just did.
The other day, Kane spoke a few sentences in Mandarin, and there was a local lady that just like immediately started filming him, like very obviously filming him. All right, so at the end of this little street of shops and cafes and everything is this beautiful walkway that's just got plants left and right, like it's like framed by all of this beautiful florals and wildlife. Oh no, like
that's not wildlife. That's just a unicorn made out of plastic, and that is a perspex penguin, not actual wildlife. You might see some kids that have tattoos on their face at the moment. It's the Spartan mini games. So you know how like people do Spartan, like Iron Man. Yeah. They're doing it here for kids that are this big. I don't know what the exercise is, but it's quite funny because they're all walking back and they're so like proud of their medals. Like this girl's so proud of her medal, and they're all like. I feel like I probably couldn't do the Spartan games here, but these like 8-year-olds are achieving absolute success.
There was a little girl a second ago with her medal, and she just had it like on her open palm, like this, like displaying it to everyone. Ding, 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 ding. So we've come to explore this little suburb called Ochtloft. It's essentially a whole area in Shenzhen that is just full of like jazz bars and cafes and restaurants and art studios, and like it's just a really cool little area to explore. And honestly, I've not seen this area in any of the like tourism videos or TikToks that I've been looking up. This is not on the beaten track for tourists, I think, and I really like that.
This is definitely the Shoreditch of this town.
Yes. These are the kind of areas that I didn't really know existed in China. Like I thought China was broken down into kind of ancient cities, which are like 2,000-year-old ancient cities, which we haven't done much of on this trip, and I really would like to do that next time we come back. and like the full-on futuristic cyberpunk cities. So like, you know, the high-rises with the LED lights everywhere and all that sort of stuff. But this is actually the coolest vibe, and it is packed. Like, this is how everyone is living here, and I don't know, it's not the China that I've been shown on the news.
This is how they scan your eyeballs and duplicate your DNA here. Are you sure you want to be doing this?
Oh, it's super gross. I think it's the inside of a vein or something.
Oh no, that's an anus.
Guys, what do we think of Kane's t-shirt? Doesn't he look handsome?
Last time I made a t-shirt, it sold out.
Yeah.
Guess what? This one's probably going to sell out too.
Exactly.
Except this time it's more expensive. Check this case out, right? So they've put little spinning balls on the bottom of the case. So, you know how we used to have fidget spinners back in the day?
Yeah.
Well, you can put it down like that and now just spin your phone.
Oh!
So rather than playing with a fidget spinner, you're like got a fidget phone.
It's kind of cool, actually.
I'm not sure if the market is on, or maybe we're just a bit early, but
yeah, maybe.
They do have a stand here that I want to show you guys. They sell, I've never had it before, it's called gelatinous rice. So you choose what you want to go into this basically jelly, and then they just wrap it up and they make a ball of, it's kind of like rice.
It's like a mochi ball, right? Aren't they called mochi?
Really? Is it a thing that I should know?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh. Thought I was revealing something amazing that I've discovered about this culture to you guys, but apparently Pia knows what it is already. It's this. So in here, there'll be like a mango, and then there's this stuff on the outside, and then just coconut powder. It's really nice.
No, I think that's a thing. Like, and I even think you can find it in some places in Australia. However, here the lady was like home making it, so you can choose what goes in the filling and what goes on the outside and all that, so you can kind of like make your own.
Ni hao. Ni hao. Hello. Oh. Interesting fun fact about these bikes, they are the de facto bike here. I have not seen one petrol powered motorbike at all. It's all battery powered, which is kind of insane because bikes make up a lot of noise in the city, and when there are thousands of bikes going down the street and it's silent, your mind can't comprehend it when you first see it. And also, you don't need to wear a helmet here. So people just drive around, they jump on these things, and then they just drive around like crazy, which is kind of fun.
Any ideas what you're thinking?
I think I might have the cream of one young guy.
So we are here primarily for work, but I have to say, if you guys have not had China on your radar as like a holiday, I would definitely add it, because it wasn't really high up on my list of places that I wanted to visit, but the hotels we're staying in are world-class, amazing hotels, and they're like $100 a night. Every meal we're going out to is like $20, $30 or
Max.
something, and we're having like the best, we're eating out constantly, having the best time, and it's just, I don't know, it's a very cool, affordable holiday, and I do think the West has a fair bit to learn from how a country like China is managing to be so well functioning with such a huge population, because it's safe, it's clean, it's like got cool little artsy spaces like this, there's heritage. I don't know, I really think it's pretty cool.
When Pia says we're here for work, we're not working with a tourism board, but we're working on building our new clothing brand, and so we're not being paid to say this. Like,
no.
This is, we came here, I actually came here with a little bit of apprehension actually, because I was like, I've heard what kind of our news channels have said about China for my whole life, and when we said we were going, our family were like, oh, be safe, you know, are you sure? We're like, I think it's going to be okay. And then we got here and it's like, wow, everyone's really friendly, the people are phenomenally helpful. There is a language barrier, I will give you that. But this is primarily a Buddhist and Taoist culture. So unlike other countries, war is not at the forefront of their kind of mindset. So they've built this whole country with a largely peaceful aspect on outlook.
Yeah.
And you can really see it. Everyone talks about there being a social credit score where if you jaywalk, the AI cameras will scan you and immediately deduct points from your life card, and then you can eventually go to prison. Not true. There is no such thing as a social credit score. Will you get arrested for jaywalking? No, I've literally been jaywalking the whole time, and in fact I'm about to jaywalk again, and there's a police officer there, and to prove a point, I will not get arrested.
After eating a lot of Chinese food while being here, I'm kind of in the mood for something very simple and Western.
Well, these guys have pizza.
It's probably sacrilegious to eat pizza in China, but
one thing that's a bit annoying for a Westerner is they have basically two internets. So you've got the internet of China, which is hyper fast. So if you log onto any websites inside the country, it's like the fastest websites you've ever been to. If you want to access outside, it's a bit slower, and it's noticeably slower. And obviously Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest, they're not available here. There is that as well. But other than that, it's okay.
the other thing that I found quite interesting is they seem to have thought through their population growth and population control. Now, I know years ago that there was something like a one-child policy. Honestly, now I actually don't know what's real anymore, but I think they had a one-child policy. That no longer exists here. But we saw all of these like pictures on a wall the other day of happy families and multi-generational families. So they're really encouraging people to fall in love with each other, have a family and live with their grandparents all in one happy household. And they're also encouraging people to have children because I think they realize that a lot of countries are now struggling with a population decline, and you can't really have that if you want to keep a productive society. So yeah, there's a lot I think that Western countries could kind of take from the approach here that are quite interesting, because this is obviously a super productive society. Like, it's super innovative, people are working, people are creating things, and you know, that's not the same in all other countries.
Hopefully we can find that nice dessert that I wanted.
The groundbreaking gelatinous rice that no one in Asia has ever heard of before.
看完这次深圳之行，最值得思考的并不是中国又展示了多少黑科技，而是为什么这些外国博主亲眼看到的中国，与他们过去从新闻中认识的中国，竟然像两个完全不同的世界。他们原以为拥有1700多万人口的超级城市，必然意味着拥堵、污染、噪音和混乱。可真正来到深圳后，看到的却是安静的电动交通、干净的街道、便利的支付系统、无人机配送，以及可以放心拿着昂贵相机行走的安全感。更让他们震撼的是，这些未来科技并没有让生活变得昂贵。世界级酒店每晚约100美元，每顿外食不超过23美元，街头食品便宜又干净，普通人同样能够享受高效率带来的便利，这才是深圳真正让西方尴尬的地方。他们还在争论未来是否可行，中国已经把未来变成了现实。他们还在重复过去的中国印象，亲自来到中国的人却开始公开承认，西方有很多地方需要学习。那么，西方究竟低估了中国多少年？那些流传已久的刻板印象又有多少能够经得起一次真实旅行？欢迎大家在评论区留下观点，认同这类外国博主亲身体验中国，用现实对比西方的内容。记得点赞、订阅频道并打开提醒，因为接下来他们还将看到一个更加夸张的中国场景，而那一次的冲击可能会让他们彻底怀疑自己过去相信的一切。